Goldman Sachs is moving towards launching its own version of Bitcoin. The banking giant has filed a patent for cryptocurrency to be called Settlecoin, and it'll be used to settle securities trades. Here are some letters to remember: IMF, RMB, SDR, and here's their significance. The International Monetary Fund is going to include China's renminbi, which is also known as the yuan, in the elite club of currencies in the special drawing rights, SDR basket. That means the yuan is now considered reliable enough to be used as world currency trading, along with the dollar, pound, euro, and yen. Stephen Muller is Chief Investment Officer at Kuafu Properties. He is here to talk to us about the significance of what is going on here. For a long time, the knock about the Chinese currency is that it was quite phony. It was controlled and manipulated to have parity with the dollar. What has changed?
I think what's changed is that China's emerged as a world power. It's the largest exporter. I think that IMF recognizing China in including it in its special drawing rights is really just they're catching up to what the business world already knows.
What does this mean for the issue of getting the money out of the country? Part of what goes on in China is that very wealthy individuals hoard greenbacks and engage in maybe some black market currency trading because the Chinese have such tough currency controls.
It's an interesting question because it's very timely. There have been so many changes recently that it's hard to point to a few. I think that the most important takeaway is that the IMF's inclusion really sets China on a continued path to opening its accounts, letting the currency trade freely, and really encourages global flows of capital. So currently today, we're seeing capital coming from pension funds through sanctioned channels, as well as, to a lesser extent now, capital coming through other ways, black market, et cetera. I think that what happens going forward is that more and more capital gets to leave mainland China and goes everywhere.
Some have said that this now becomes a real challenge to King Dollar. And is that basically true? So a lot of commodities obviously are pegged to the dollar, oil being the biggest one, the petrodollar. So does this create a sort of competition now, and that the U.S. Treasury has to concern itself with?
I don't think we're at the stage yet that King Dollar, as you put it, is at risk. I think long term, it's unquestionable that China is continuing to grow and will certainly get to a point where they are a very dominant player on the world stage. But today, I don't think that the U.S. dollar is at risk. I think if you compare the size of China, China has the second largest economy. It's but GDP per capita, if you look at it on a per person basis, it's very low.
Well, there's 1 billion people in the country, and the country is still very, very rural in nature.
And to that point, U.S. has GDP per capita of about $55,000. The world average is about 14,000. China's at about 7,500. And so if you think about it in terms of just getting up to the world average, China will...
Very long way to go.
Well, it is, but maybe not, because look at how far China's come in just 15 years. But for them to get to the world average, you are doubling China's GDP.
Did the IMF really make a decision here too early? Can we really trust China's economy, accounting system, if you will, to accurately portray their economy? We know that they sort of cook the books on the GDP. We know that they have cooked the books for years on their currency. I mean, are they legit?
Well, I don't know if I'm entirely qualified to answer whether they're legit, but my sense is that China's economy at this point is far too big for them to really be able to control it. So they have to start loosening the reins. I think that IMF's decision to include them was well timed. Beijing has made very strong and serious efforts to open up.
And there's an argument to make that if you put more spotlight on them, they're going to have to play by some sort of rules.
And I think that's the argument that they're making. And certainly that is a good basis for arguing that China will continue on this path because the spotlight is on them now.
Okay. Stephen Muller, thank you so much.
Thank you.